Hello my friends, and welcome back to another video. So I wanted to do the Cozy Autumn book tag. I saw this done by Lexi on Alexandria Rosalind. That's the name of her channel. I'll go ahead and make sure I get the channel down below. I highly recommend subscribing to her channel if you haven't already. She makes very good videos, very aesthetically pleasing. She mentioned that the creator was the book Bell. So I will also link that channel down below, and I went and found the book Bell and I actually decided to subscribe as well. So I do recommend subscribing to both of them if you are so inclined. So for the Cozy Autumn book tag, there are 10 questions. So let's go ahead and get started into it because it can take a while if we don't. So let's go ahead and dive right on in. So question number 1, what book always reminds you of fall and autumn? There's not really one particular book that reminds me of the fall or autumn. But the ones that come to my mind that I tend to gravitate more towards is the author R.L. Stine. Specifically, here's Fear Street books. Any of the Fear Street books, they generally take place on a street called Fear Street, is where the person lives or is from, and there's hauntings and, of course, paranormal activities. So I do, and they generally take place at, I think it's Shadyside High. And like there was this one series, I think there's 4 in the series now. There was 3 when I read them years ago, and so I have not read the new one that came out recently, but it's the cheerleader. I can't remember the name of the series, but it has to do with like a cheerleading squad, how they end up all possessed or something along those lines. It's been years, but I remember loving that, and they were all cheerleaders for Shadyside High, and then of course it's like how they became possessed and how it just kind of hops around, and that's pretty much all I remember from it. So Fear Street, R.L. Stine, the Fear Street books. And the other one that reminds me, and this is the 3rd one in the series of fall, is the Harry Potter series, and that's because it's back to school. Back to school generally happens around the fall. So of course you're following Harry Potter as he finds out that he's a wizard. And of course I know most of you know, but just in case there's someone out there that does not know what the Harry Potter series is about, you're following the boy Harry Potter, who is the boy who lived. He's tries to defeat Lord Voldemort as the books go on. So the chosen one trope. So that definitely reminds me of the fall because it's back to school and they're all in school, and I know that school goes through, winter and spring as well, but back to school season is generally in the fall. So although it seems to be happening more and more in the summer as time goes on, I've noticed that with, at least here in Utah, it seems like kids are going back sooner and sooner. So that's generally what reminds me of the fall and autumn. So question number 2, what is your favorite autumnal book cover? The King of Crows by Libba Bray. This is the 4th one in the Diviner series. So in the Diviner series, it takes place in the 1920s, and you're following Evie as she kind of discovers some powers that she may have, trying to defeat this evil being, and how she kind of goes about that and making friends, and how there's fallout from choices that she makes with family and things like that. But this series gets spookier as it goes on, so be aware of that. So if you've read the first one and you thought, it's not that spooky, because that's what I thought, I went ahead and tried the second one. The second one was more eerie and spooky than and creepy than the first one. The 3rd one was even more so, and then the 4th one even more so. I just thought it goes on, but I like this one as the autumnal book one, just because one, it's the crow, and then it's orange. It's just, I think this is a wonderful cover design, and it's very, I always think of the fall mostly because of the color and all that, but this would be my choice for that one. Question number 3. What is your favorite autumnal drink to read with? Um, I would have to say the Stevens brand of cocoa. I'm very particular sometimes when it comes to brands because sometimes some other brands will taste a little off, or just not quite up to snuff. So I prefer the Stevens brand of cocoa specifically. I love his apple cider. He also does a candy cane cocoa, which I tend to drink more in the winter. Definitely over the apple cider. It kind of the candy cane flavor cocoa replaces the apple cider one. So apple cider from Stevens brand. I tried recently an Oreo cookies and cream brand hot chocolate, and that was good. Not my favorite, but it was still good. But I think my overall favorite that ties with this Stevens hot cocoa is the Stevens mint truffle, or this Stevens apple cider that ties with that. So I'll kind of alternate between the two. Is the Stevens mint truffle hot chocolate. Love it. I generally don't drink just straight up hot chocolate, just because that mint truffle, just chef's kiss. The first time I had that, I never looked back type of a thing. Loved it. So that would be my favorite to do. Let's see, number 4. Do you prefer to read late at night or early in the morning? I am such a night owl. I can stay up until past midnight. I guess that would be considered early in the morning once you do that, but I will stay up. Although now as I'm getting older, I tend to fall asleep right around the 11 o'clock mark. I tend not to last very long past that anymore. But I do tend to stay up. I feel like I'm more productive and I can get more done at night compared to in the morning. So I am trying to change that. I'm trying to become more of a morning person. But I don't know if as of right now, I'm not a reader in the morning very much. I tend to start reading in the afternoon, late morning, early afternoon, and then definitely do most of my reading late at night. I think the atmosphere is just perfect with the stars out, the crickets chirping, and yeah, I just prefer it at night. Let's see, question number 5. Halloween is coming. What is your favorite spooky read? I highly recommend The End of Temperance Stare by Wendy Webb. You'll probably hear me mention this several times. So this follows Eleanor Harper. She's looking for a change in her life, and she gets an invitation to become the curator at a hotel, which has been transformed into an artist's retreat. So various artists, so journalists, painters, sketch artists, writers, they all will try and come to, or schedule a time to be at the artist's retreat to find inspiration. It takes place around the Great Lakes, I believe is where it was. The artist retreat that she becomes the head of used to be an asylum for people that suffered from tuberculosis. So it went from that to what it is now. And so it's called Cliffside Manor is what it's called. So she's starting to pick up on, Eleanor's starting to pick up on that her and all these artists are there for, they have certain commonalities as to why they were chosen to be a guest at the retreat or for her to be the head of the manor. So she's starting to figure things out. Things are starting to happen. Things aren't what they seem. She's starting to hear noises upstairs and just things aren't quite adding up, and there's a lot of paranormal activity. It's gothic, it's dark, there's like possessions, there's obviously spirit ghost stuff. So I'm trying to think of the other word. Gothic paranormal was the best way to describe it. Very spooky, very atmospheric. Wendy Webb does a wonderful job building the atmosphere, and so you're definitely put into the atmosphere of the character. Very good. Highly, highly recommend. Question number 6. What is the ultimate comfort read for you? So I'm going to just reuse a book that I've already held up once before. And this has helped me through a lot and was a great way to escape. And so it has a special place in my heart because of how much it has helped me through things in my life. So Harry Potter is the ultimate comfort for me. I just wish I had friends like Harry, like the Golden Trio, Harry, Hermione, and Ron. Um, I love I as much of a struggle as learning is for me. I do love learning, so I always try and put in that extra effort to learn what I think is fascinating and interesting. So it's the school atmosphere, um, and just yeah, this is just the ultimate comfort for me, and I don't know if it will ever not be, but so that is the ultimate comfort book for me, or the comfort series, I should say, because I love them all. Let's see, number 7. What is your favorite autumnal reading snack? I don't really read while I eat because I'm very particular about my books. I don't even like to crack the spines. I don't like it when the covers get bent or torn. I very much like the books to be as in a good condition as possible. So my favorite autumnal snack that I generally only have this time of year, and it's generally only around Thanksgiving. I've grown up calling them snackias. What they are is when someone makes pie. And I generally have just grown up with pie around Thanksgiving like that, whether it's generally the pumpkin pie. Not my favorite unless it's smothered in whipped cream. But what will happen is the person that makes the pie with the excess dough is they'll cut it up and roll it up. So they're just, not, probably about an inch to an inch and a half long and about an inch thick, just kind of rolled up, and then just bake those. And so you're just eating baked pie crust. My grandma one time made them with cinnamon and sugar kind of rolled into it. Oh, so good. And this is generally the only time of year that I have them. And again, just when we're making pie for Thanksgiving. But I love pie. And when I have the time, I'll probably be making more pie, and that'll probably be more of a year-round thing. But as of right now, that's my favorite autumnal snack. Let's see. Question number 8. What is your favorite autumnal candle to burn whilst reading? In the fall, I love to read while I read. There's some candles from Bath and Body Works. Specifically, the one that I can say the most is the Leaves scent. It's very spicy, very kind of a cozy smell. So that's the one that I do. I don't have any, but the other one, if I don't have that, or can't gain access to that, my other favorites, fragrant candle-wise to smell during the fall, would be anything that's like apple cinnamon or apple. Those I always tend to gravitate more towards the fall. I just think of apples more in the fall and the crispiness, and yeah, so leaves or anything with apple. And then let's see. So question number 9. When you are not reading, what is your favorite autumnal activity? I don't really have a specific autumnal activity. I could say maybe watching scary movies, but I'm kind of starting to get out of that, and mostly because the new ones that come out just feel very dark compared to what they were when I was growing up. It seems like they're just more evil and sinister and unsettling, and so I don't watch a lot, at least of the newer ones. I do like to watch the older horror or scary movies. So Rebecca, Birds. If you've ever seen Willard, Willard is one where this guy has the ability to communicate with rats and can set rats to people to try and kill a person, type of a thing. Wait Until Dark, starring Audrey Hepburn. Love that one. So more of the classic horror ones are what I like. Psycho. I have not seen the remake of Carrie. I liked the original version of Carrie. I would like to see the remake. Same thing with the movie It. I've seen the original, but I have not seen the remake. So yeah. So those are kind of what I like to do. If I'm not reading, sometimes I'll watch those, but I tend to be reading more, so I don't really watch a lot. Definitely not as much as I used to. So, number 10, what is on your autumn, fall, and reading list? Pretty much anything by Wendy Webb or the Harry Potter series. I only have, let me grab it. I've already read the Harry Potter series, of course, so as I work my way through, I'm working on my third reread. The first time I'm working on my second reread of Harry Potter. The first time I reread it, I listened to it by audiobook. I recommend that. The voice actor was fabulous. But so that's always on I tend to want to read them more in the fall and that. Wendy Webb, I'm making my way through. There's only 2 books by Wendy Webb that I have yet to read. One will not be released until November. And I can't remember right off. Let me look. I actually have pre-ordered it. So let me see. And so it's going to be obviously her newer release if I've had to pre-order it. Duh, come on, Christine, think. Let's see. It is called, I want to say The Vanishing. Oh, no. Come on, pull up. I want to get the picture up so you can see it. The Haunting of Bryn Wilder by Wendy Webb. So that is, I have pre-ordered, and that is supposed to arrive. It says arriving November 11th. So as soon as I get that, that is being added to my pile of I want to read on my TBR shelf. This is my main TBR shelf, so it'll be stuck right on in there. So I do want to get to that. Of course, this is why I said The Vanishing, because that's the other Wendy Webb book that I have not read. So this one, her books so far have all been gothic, paranormal. As you can see, they're just that creepy house there. I really don't know anything about this one. It's called Havenwood. Julia Bishop is the character. It says her life is collapsing around her. Someone appears on her doorstep with an intriguing job offer. So it's probably one of those things that it seems too good to be true. Someone appears dead but may not. So someone's jumping at the chance for a fresh start. So yeah. So that's pretty much all I know. I'll read more about it when I try and go into it. But as of right now, this is the only other Wendy Webb other than the one I pre-ordered. But this is the only other one that I have left to read of Wendy Webb. Again, highly recommend her. So that is the name of the tag, the Cozy Autumn book tag. So I hope you enjoyed. What is your favorite book to read during the autumnal season? Or is there something that you tend to gravitate more towards? Let me know in the comments below. I'll have all my social media stuff listed below, as far as I don't do Twitter, but I'll have my Instagram and my Goodreads. That's pretty much all I have as far as social media. I'll have those listed below. If you're so inclined, please do this tag. It was very fun to think about the answers for these. So until next time, stay true to yourself, read a good book, and I will see you later.